So I'm currently in Dingle on my 4th research hike now, waiting for a bus to take me to the community center in Ventry, and I'll be hiking along Ventry Beach, which is the location of the legendary Battle of Ventry between the King of the World, Dun, and Fionn of the Fianna warriors. Alright, here we have Ventry Bay, the location where the King of the World invaded with his troops. Legend has it that this bay was filled with ships of all shapes and sizes and colors from all over the world, for everyone served under the King of the World, the King of Spain, the King of France, the Queen of Greece, the King of the Marshes, the King of the Dog Heads, the King of the Cat Heads. Everyone except for little tiny Ireland. The reflection of the clouds on the sand is just stunning. So the weather is quite temperamental here. It's rained maybe 3 or 4 times already, and now the sun is out. So while the sun is out and I'm relatively warm, I'm going to eat some lunch and enjoy the view, of course. Here's the view. After not having one piece of candy for the past 4 weeks, this Kinder Bueno bar is really hitting. So one of the reasons why I didn't start recording before I hopped on the bus to Dingle was because at the bus stop, I met this really nice man named Pat. And I don't know, he grew up in camp and had a good deal of knowledge about the area. He mentioned that he was, I want to say 12 in 1952 or 62. So he's been around for a while, and he's actually met Tom Crean, whose grave I had tried to go see the other day. And he told me a story about Crean, which was Crean loved dogs. And so they had these sledding teams, you know, exploring in Antarctica and things like that. And when his crew members were starving and they were forced to, well, the dogs would die, and then they were forced to eat the dogs, but Crean supposedly would not touch any of the dogs. He would not eat the dogs. Just an incredible story. These lines raked across the sand by the waves remind me of the Japanese stone gardens. I'm headed inland now to try and find a ring fort. Maybe this is even the ring fort that Fionn and his troops made camp during the Battle of Ventry. we'll see. Passing by a little tree plantation. They say that the grave of Deradun, king of the world, is somewhere over that way, but it is on someone's property, so probably not going to be able to see it today. So I'm currently inside the fairy fort, and I think the myth that animals don't go inside them is false, because these guys very hungrily followed me in for food. So I'm sorry, I ran out of food. There's another rainbow. It's like the third one today. Between the outer and inner rings now, there's the wall. It's raining again, so I'm taking shelter between the rings. I don't have any more food, buddy. Running because I'm a 2-hour walk from where my bus stop is, and the bus leaves in an hour. As you can probably hear from the sound of the waves, I've made it back to Ventry Beach, and it's raining. But I think I will make my bus on time. Out there at the bottom of the sea somewhere is supposedly the crown of Deradun, therefore the crown of the king of the world. And it's prophesized that the next king of the world will be a woman who will rule benevolently as if the whole world is her family. And they say that the crown will reveal itself to her when the time is right. Cutting the brush, especially the white thorn, also known as the fairy tree, on fairy forts was reputed to be the death of those who performed the act. And specifically regarding the ring fort that I visited, legend also has it that anyone who entered between the hours of 1 and 5 in the morning would not leave alive. And if it sounds like I'm reading from a pamphlet, it's because I am. Also, I'm not sure if you can tell from the video, but the sand is so shiny here and reflective that it almost feels like you're walking in the sky. You just see the mountains on the other side of the bay now. I'm not sure if they were there this morning. Dingle is so colorful. So just behind me is the Rice House, where they were going to put Marie Antoinette to help her escape from execution, but at the last minute she decided that she couldn't bear to leave her husband and her children, and so they abandoned the plan. But that is where she would have been staying